There's all sorts of theories of what happened at Stonehenge and why was it created and how was it created. Yep. And there's actually a theory on acoustically, like what kind of acoustical ramifications that design and how that impacts that space. But here's an aerial view of Stonehenge. It's estimated to be constructed between 3000 and 2000 BC. And before it was a complete circle. Like right now, you can see a lot of the stones have fallen down. Mm-hmm. Over time they just either disintegrate and fall, or potentially people have removed some as well. But it was a complete circle at one point. Here's actually a kind of a computer graphic showing what it used to be, where it was completely circular and had tops to all of those all the way around. The interesting part acoustically with this is that all of the stones that face the inner part of the circle are either flat or concave. So we're looking at kind of a cross-section view here of the stones, and this flat section that's here on the left side of this stone, that's the part that faces the inside of the circle. Mm-hmm. And then the back was always just like really rough and doesn't look like it's been altered at all. Sure. And so it was like an intentional thing for this to be flat for some reason. Some of them you can see on the right-hand side are even a little concave in nature. But the back side are usually very rough and not something that would reflect sound very well. It would scatter sound. But all the inside pieces are flat or concave. There's actually out in Washington State, there's the Mary Hill Memorial, which was a 2-scale replica of Stonehenge. So you can actually go and experience it here in the United States and be able to hear some of this acoustical phenomenon that we'll talk about. But some people have done some modeling of Stonehenge and showed that if you had a sound source in the center, like this is a kind of a heat map where red would be very loud, and then it would go to orange, yellow, and green, and then blue in varying levels of decibel level. And so if you're within the circle, right, you see it's all red inside of here. And so you have a sound source in the circle. All of that reflection is coming back is containing some of that sound and reinforcing it. And if you were standing inside the circle, let's say sometimes people think that Stonehenge was used for like ritualistic purposes or what have you. And I wonder if this was kind of the beginning of the saying being within the inner circle, like something like that, to where if you were inside the circle of the stones, you'd be able to hear and understand things very well. But if you stepped outside of that and the further you got away from the inner circle, you wouldn't be able to hear things as well. Wow. And so people have done these types of studies. I mean, again, there's also astrological things going on with Stonehenge. There's so many different things, but there is an acoustical impact of the way that place was designed.
That's really interesting.